Hello everybody, this week's punctuation task is all about commas. Now, lots of you might have seen them in reading books before, or perhaps on some writing that Miss has done on the board, but maybe not that many of you have used them in your writing, okay? Now, commas as punctuation have got a few different uses, okay? Sometimes when you see a comma in a book, it might be a break in a sentence, okay? Just to split the sentence up into two smaller chunks for you to have a little breath in between, okay? That's one use of them, and that's not what we're going to look at today because it's a little bit more complicated. So we'll look at that in the future. The other use of commas is for writing lists, okay? So what I've got here is a list of items that I bought when going to the shops, okay? And I want to write these list of items into a sentence. So I'm going to start my sentence by saying, I went to the shop and bought. Now, what do you think sounds better? I went to the shop and bought grapes and milk and bananas and eggs and bread. What word can you hear lots of in that sentence? That's right, you can hear the word and, okay? Now, lots of you know that we don't like to use this word too many times in a sentence, okay? So, instead of writing, I went to the shops and bought grapes and milk and bananas and eggs and bread, we can use a comma in between each of the words, okay? Each of the words, the items that we bought. Now, do you know what a comma looks like? I'm going to draw one here. Okay, that's a comma, yeah? And it goes at the bottom of a word. So, let's begin. I went to the shop and bought grapes. Instead of writing and, we're going to use a comma. See how it goes at the bottom of your word, okay? The bottom of your word, not up at the top, not above. That would be a different type of punctuation. So you must make sure it sits on your line, okay, at the bottom of your word. So I went to the shop and I bought grapes, bananas, comma, milk, eggs. What do you think I'm going to do here? Because I've only got one thing left, and we are allowed to use and, but we just don't want to use it in between every single one, okay? So before you write the last item in your list, use that word. Use the word and, okay? And bread. Let's read that out and see what you think. Does that make it sound a bit better? I went to the shops and bought grapes, bananas, milk, eggs, and bread. How much better does that sound? And that's all by using this little bit of punctuation called a comma. Your task is to rearrange the sentences that I've given you in your task and make them more interesting to read and more fluent to read by adding in commas, okay? You need to replace the ands with commas. But remember, you are allowed to put and before the last item on your list. Good luck with it. Remember, if you need anything, just ask me for help. Bye.